So, John, what is the worst memory you've had?
What? No.
Whoa, what?
Start again.
What did I say?
Nightmare. Memory, not nightmare. Nightmare, not memory.
Sorry. What is the worst nightmare you've had from memory?
Oh, I see where you went wrong there.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Larry, it's awful. I've had this constantly recurring nightmare that I'm trapped in this hellish existence where every week I have to meet up with a grumpy Welsh idiot and pitch sequels to movies that don't have any. It's awful.
Yeah, you look like you're having a really bad time.
Yeah.
You can see it's taking a toll on you.
Yeah, it really has. I'm a shell of my former self.
Yeah. Oh, no, I meant visually, sorry.
See, this is my nightmare. I'm living it.
Some films are fine just the way they are. Other films sometimes take it way too far. But really, how bad could it get? Let's go beyond the box set.
Welcome everybody to Beyond the Box Set, the podcast where today we are pitching prequels, sequels and spin-offs to The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Ooh.
Should be a good one. We'll also be pitching some drinking games and hearing from our listeners with the ideas that they've thought of and posted on our Facebook and Twitter pages. There's quite a few this week. But first we're going to talk about some of our favourite moments and go through a bit of a plot summary. I'm Harry, the host with the most brain cells, though many of them are dead.
Yeah.
Joining me as always, the host who is a massive smart ass, is John Lucas.
I mean, you are a bit younger than me, so technically you probably do have more brain cells.
Yay! I'm
Well done.
probably more alive.
Yeah, that's what I was
Well, I mean,
getting
I've physically got a bigger head, so
That is true.
So
There's more
I probably
space,
do
yeah.
have more brain cells.
Mhm.
And, you know, your brain stops developing around the age of, I think, 23 or something, early 20s.
Yeah.
Meaning that, yeah, I've got some dead brain cells, but, you know, you're going to have, like, what, half gone now?
Yeah.
Anyway, so Nightmare Before Christmas, what are your thoughts on this?
I love this film.
Yeah?
This film's great. I mean, I know this film very well.
Yeah.
This is really my childhood. Like, this is a real, like, you know how some films are just, like, in your bones that you watch when you're a certain age?
Mm-hmm.
Like, watching it back this week, or this evening, as I should say. Like, it is a long...
We're recording about a half hour later than normal because John had to finish the film.
Yeah, well, I've been busy. Anyway, but it's a long time since I've really sat down and watched it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those ones, do you ever, you know, certain films that you watch and certain scenes come up and you're like, oh my God, I remember it so clearly. It was like such a... I must have seen this film loads of times.
Oh my God, this was me when I was 8.
Yeah, but maybe. I mean, I wasn't like a disembodied skeleton or anything, but you know, I definitely like enjoyed this film a lot, and I think it's aged really well. Yeah. What about you?
I've not seen this before now.
But you have now, right?
I have now, and I'll be honest, John. I watched this with a massive hangover.
I mean, that's not unusual.
No, but it's generally what's the opposite to a seal of approval? Last nail in the coffin.
It's generally a nail in the coffin. It doesn't bode well a lot of the time.
Yeah, pretty much. But anyway, I was really hungover, and I watched this, and I really much needed to just go to sleep on the couch.
Sure.
And I still managed to enjoy it.
Oh, good. Well, that is that is truly an achievement. This film is.
Yeah, because normally I'll be sitting down and, you know, I'll be wishing I was dead, and I'm there watching Fargo and just like, this is awful. I hate everything.
I thought you liked Fargo.
Oh, no, I did.
Okay. But the hangover.
In hindsight, at the time, I hated it with a passion.
Okay, maybe you should stop watching our films on hangovers. Just pick a different day.
No, John, maybe I should just drink less.
Well, that's also an option, but I'm giving you an alternative, you know.
Yeah, so no, this film's great.
Okay, so...
Delightfully short.
Delightfully short, yeah, that helps. It is just over an hour. It's like an hour and 10, which is great, especially for a kid's film.
Yeah.
It's very simple. There's no, like, scenes that are just a waste of time. It just takes you through this very simple fable about the Skeleton King who wanted to, you know, do Christmas, and then it all went wrong.
Yeah.
But he learns a valuable lesson at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, so the question we asked ourselves at the end of last week's episode when you announced this is this that you weren't sure whether this is a Halloween film or a Christmas film.
Yeah, and so when I started this, and it's just going, this is Halloween, this is... I was like, oh no, they're telling me, they're literally telling me that I've made a mistake here.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm never going to hear the end of this. But no, I definitely think that this is 100% a Christmas movie. The main character learned the meaning of Christmas by the end of the movie. So, you know, therefore it's more of a Christmas movie than a holiday is.
No, I 100% agree. This is definitely a Christmas film.
Yeah.
Absolutely. One of the things I really like about this is, well, it's Tim Burton. Not directed. It was directed by Henry Selick, who also directed, do you remember the James and the Giant Peach?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
And also Coraline. Have you ever seen Coraline?
No, I've not.
Oh, Coraline is amazing. But so yeah, he's obviously, very much an expert in this field. But it's a Tim Burton story based on a short story he wrote or something.
Yeah.
And he obviously produced it. You can see his hands all over this.
Oh,
This
yeah,
is
big time.
so Tim Burton.
Yeah.
That way that it is genuinely creepy and scary, but also like super fun.
Yeah. I was really just waiting for the credits to see like Johnny Depp, Helena Bonham Carter.
Yeah, you're thinking of The Corpse Bride.
Well, sure,
But
whatever.
also, yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you mean, yeah. That they would be in it, yeah.
Yeah. But no, Danny Elfman is the main voice.
Yes, Danny Elfman, the composer who always works with Tim Burton. I think he did like Beetlejuice and Edward Scissorhands and all that kind of stuff. They have a very good creative partnership. He's doing the singing voice of Jack Skellington. Chris Sarandon does the speaking voice of Jack Skellington, and the voice of Sally, the zombie love interest, is Catherine O'Hara from Schitt's Creek, which I thought I'd forgotten about, and I was very pleased to discover.
Yeah.
So yeah, good voice cast.
But no, this film really is something. Like, I was watching it, and like I say, I was just feeling really bad about myself, and I was watching it because I needed to watch it, just because it was on my to-do list,
Sure.
basically. And I got halfway through, and I was like, this film is actually really something special.
Yeah, I'm glad
Like,
you
it
feel
really
that way.
is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I did well.
I'm very glad.
Wait, no, I chose this.
You actually, why am I suddenly feeling like the festive is a great film? This is your fucking choice. I'm like, finally a win. It's nothing to do with me whatsoever. Great. Well done, you. That is great. You're very flexible there, patting yourself on your own back.
Ah,
So
great. Well, seeing as it's my episode, I guess I better do the plot summary then.
go for it. Hit me.
So, I think we open up. It's not a bit of commentary or narration, is there? But we see.
There is a little bit at the very beginning, just about all the different worlds.
Yeah, I think it starts off and you see
Yeah.
these trees that have all got different icons on them. One's got the Easter Bunny, one's got like a love heart, I think.
Yeah, Valentine's Day, Easter, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Halloween, and St. Patrick's Day. They were the ones I noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all, we should mention it if we haven't made it obvious already. It's all stop motion in this film, so it's all done in claymation, which is, I think, makes it so much more visually appealing, because it adds so much. But anyway, we'll get to that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we then go into Halloween world. I mean, the camera pauses quite heavily on the Christmas one.
Yes.
But then we go into Halloween, and that's when we're introduced to all the side characters, and eventually Jack Skellington himself through, I guess, the most iconic song of the film.
Yeah.
Because I recognised it.
I'll tell you, this is Halloween, this is...
It's on all the playlists.
Absolutely, yeah.
Whenever the Halloween playlist is there.
Also, one thing I noticed this time is that the music in this film is amazing, but actually... there aren't that many specifically memorable songs. It's more like they all kind of sound the same, but I don't mean that as a criticism. What I mean is that it's like one of those musicals. Is it like a rock opera when it's kind of all kind of sung through and it's all kind of variations on the same theme?
Right, okay.
Musically, I mean, like it works really well. There's there's a little bit of dialogue, obviously, but it's mostly just a sung through film. There's little bits here and there that are very catchy, but on the whole, it's just kind of all one piece, almost like it's all one piece, which I really, really liked. Again, it made it feel. Again, it gave it that kind of fairy tale quality rather than like this is a musical quality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like all the characters just suddenly stop and break into a song and dance number. It's more just like it's like a fable. It's a fable world, and hence everyone's singing their feelings and their thoughts. So yeah. Well, yes, This Is Halloween is the first song.
Yeah. And I didn't actually know this was a musical before going into it.
I mean, it's a Disney film. It's a fair assumption, but sure.
Well, true. But, I
Did you think this was a serious drama?
Well, no. I didn't realise I'd be singing the whole way through.
Fair enough, okay.
And, I enjoyed that, but
Okay.
I wasn't quite ready for it.
Again, if you've got a hangover, sometimes a musical's not what you want.
I enjoyed bits of it.
Okay.
There weren't really any bits that I didn't enjoy.
Good. Okay.
So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's not best I do the plot summary.
If you lost it.
Yeah.
So Jack Skellington is he's the Pumpkin King.
Yeah.
He's the
You
king
know
of
what? This is
Halloween
definitely your film. This is your childhood film. You do it.
Okay, fine. Well, there's not much plot to describe. But yeah, so he's the Pumpkin King of Halloween Town. They've had another successful Halloween. So all the monsters, the ghouls, you've got your vampires, you've got your witches, you've got all kinds of zombies and crazy looking things. And they're all singing about what a successful Halloween they've had. It's like they're the monsters under the bed. So they go around. I guess it's the idea is that much like on Christmas, Santa Claus goes from house to house and delivers presents to good children. On Halloween, all of these creatures, it's their time to go out into the real world, such as it is. But they just scare all the children, and that's their thing. Kind of like Monsters Inc. as well, similar kind of plotline, I guess.
Yeah.
So they've had another highly successful Halloween. They're all singing. They're all in a great mood. And Jack Skellington is feeling a bit down in the dumps because it has been a great Halloween. It's been very successful, but he's having kind of a, I'm not going to say midlife crisis because he's dead, but like, you know, a bit of an existential crisis. He's kind of feeling like, what does it all mean? I do this every year and it's always the same. And he's got bored of it.
Yeah.
He's bored of his job and he wants to find something new. So he goes for a little sad wander through the forest with his ghost dog, who's called Zero. And while out there, he discovers the circle of trees, which are, I guess, how they teleport to all of the different... They're little portals to all the different worlds.
Now, I was wondering how he got there. Did he exit Halloween World? Because it really looked like he just stumbled upon it. So,
yeah, he got to the glade. I would imagine that it's like he wanders to the very end of Halloween Town, and it's like this little glade of trees with all the other symbols on them. So I'm going to guess all of the worlds have that. They've all got their own little field, and then they just walk through the tree, and then they try and teleport to the next one. I think that's how it works.
Yeah, okay. That's just how it works.
Yeah, so it's it's just like a public transport system between the worlds. Doesn't seem like they have too much contact with each other though.
No.
So obviously they don't know what's going on. This is new to him. So he stumbles into.
Yeah, I got the impression he was the first one to
cross the line.
Yeah.
So he stumbles into Christmas Land, and then one of the other songs that I really like. What is this? What is this?
Yeah.
He learns all about Christmas and he sees all of these happy little elves and all the Christmas cliches and Santa and everything running around giving presents to children, and it's happy and colourful. It's everything that Halloween Town is not, and he's like, I love this. This is new. This is exciting.
Yeah, no, it's a really nice little scene. That
it was great. Yeah,
that song. What's this? Or
yeah. Oh yeah, it's fun. Another one that's really like in my head. So he's immediately like, okay, I want in on this. This is the key to me finding something new. I'm gonna take this over and do it myself. So he kind of he goes back to Halloween Town and does some research to try and figure out what the secret of Christmas Town is. And ultimately the conclusion he comes to is he just needs to do it himself. So he sets some of his henchmen, what were they called? Lock, Stock and Barrel?
Sure.
The three little kids with the creepy faces.
Yeah.
Yeah. He sends them out to kidnap Santa Claus.
Were those kids basically wearing masks of their own faces?
They were, yes, which is somehow even creepier than just a mask of a scary thing. Yeah. I mean, there is genuinely a lot of creepy stuff in this. Like, visually, like, it's definitely would be scary for a small child. But in a way that I think...
What's her face taking her limbs off every now and then?
Exactly, yeah. Like, would you let your nieces are what, 3 and 5? 3 and 2?
2 and 4 of them.
2 and 4, would you let them watch this, or are they too young?
Yeah, I think they're too young for this.
Too young, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's like good scary. It's not going to, like, traumatise them for life. It's the kind of thing
No, I don't think so. But also it's the sort of thing that could appear in a nightmare.
Yeah, true. Yeah. You don't be responsible for that. You don't be that uncle. No.
Yeah. I've given them Wallace and Gromit for now. I think that'll probably
ease them into stop motion. Because that in itself can be a little bit nightmarish.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we did watch A Close Shave, and she wasn't scared of Preston, the robot dog.
Well, there you go.
I always found him really scary.
I think she might be ready. Thing to do his own Christmas, basically, or to take over Christmas while Santa Claus is being kidnapped by these little terrifying little munchkins.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's a side plot with a kind of Dr. Frankenstein figure who's like in a wheelchair. He's got a big egg head that he can take his own brains out. And he's got a kind of Frankenstein / zombie kind of thing. This creation that Frankenstein's bride kind of creation, I guess.
Yeah.
Like a woman, a corpse bride. Kind of actually the same design for the corpse bride.
Yeah.
But anyway, a woman called Sally, who he's kind of sewn together from bits of dead people, who's, I guess, his servant.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, the relationship was unclear, but she's not happy. She's very unhappy. She keeps constantly trying to poison him and trying to escape. She's voiced by Catherine O'Hara, who is great in all things. And she's in love with the Skeleton King, the Pumpkin King. She's in love with Jack. And she gets a vision while she's kind of watching Jack and him experimenting on all these Christmas things. She sees like a premonition that this isn't going to go well and this is a bad thing. It's going to backfire. And she tries to warn Jack, but he's just so wrapped up in it he doesn't listen at all. So then Santa Claus is successfully kidnapped. Well, first of all, the kids make a mistake and they kidnap the Easter Bunny.
Yeah.
But then they finally get it right and they kidnap Santa, and Jack takes over and he sets all of the henchmen on doing all the things that the elves would normally do, creating all the toys, but obviously because they're evil demons. Well, they're not evil, but because they're demons from Halloween Town, they don't really understand the concepts of like joy and goodwill to all men. So all the toys are hilariously inappropriate and possibly deadly, possibly murderous.
Yeah.
So then we get maybe my favourite sequence in the whole movie when Jack Skellington just joyously travels to Earth, I guess, and
to Christmas Land.
To Christmas Land.
Yeah.
I think they're all circling Earth.
Are they?
Yeah, I think the idea is that the Christmas comes but once a year, as does Halloween. So I think they're like in their little world,
right. So they're
and
on
then they go to Earth, or
okay.
not that they're in space, but you know what I mean. Like they go to the dimension that is Earth, and they do what they need to do. That's how I understood it.
Sure.
I mean, they don't really go into the lore. It's a kids' film.
Yeah.
But yeah, he goes and delivers Christmas, or what he thinks is a good Christmas, and he's delivering presents to all his kids. Obviously, instead of like a fat, jolly, bearded man, it's a terrifying skeleton, which is in itself quite disturbing. And then he's also delivering disembodied heads and monstrous pumpkins and all kinds of things that just scare the bejesus out of the children. And that was my favourite scene in the movie by far. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Just all the kids just having these horrified reactions, like pulling out like corpse heads and being chased down the halls by like watching their Christmas trees being eaten by snakes. Like,
yeah. I guess this is where the stop motion really comes into its own as to like why it's here, because if it was anything else, that would be incredibly traumatizing.
Yeah.
Like, obviously you couldn't do it live action.
No.
You couldn't really do it with like CGI animation.
No.
You know, like Toy Story sort of thing.
No, I don't. Well, Toy Story has done scary things. I mean,
yeah, but like a severed head and stuff like that.
It
would be so much more in that kind of.
Yeah, animation. No, you're right. Claymation's just the right format for this, I think, because you can go.
It makes it a lot more cartoony, but without being. Cartoon.
Yeah, I think it was just hand drawn. It would either be too graphic, like you said, or it wouldn't be scary enough. I think stop motion is perfect for these kind of sequences.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So he's doing that, and obviously it just causes panic and mayhem, and people are frantically chaining up their doors and lighting their fires and just making sure that this monstrous fake Santa can't get in. The army gets called out, he gets shot down.
Yeah.
Because at first he doesn't get...
I loved how much it escalated.
It escalated so fast, yeah. You can tell this was in America.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, because he's built his own sleigh, which is pulled by skeletal reindeer, which is just so brilliantly dark.
Yeah.
And so initially he doesn't realise that they're following him to try and hit him. That he's like, oh, that was a close one, but Merry Christmas to you too. Like,
you nearly hit me. Merry Christmas.
He's utterly deluded.
Yeah.
But then he realises that they're actually firing at him, and then his sleigh gets hit by a cannonball or a missile or whatever it is, and he gets kind of blown into a graveyard. Is presumed dead by the citizens of Halloween Town who are watching from like a magic mirror.
Yeah.
So they're all horrified. Their king is dead, they think. Meanwhile, Christmas is ruined, and Santa Claus has fallen into the clutches of the villain of the film, Oogie Boogie, the Boogeyman, who I can tell you enjoyed.
Yeah. He really gave me Little Shop of Horrors vibes.
Yes, the voice, it might even been, I don't know, I've not looked up who did the voice, but it definitely sounded Audrey-ish, definitely. Yeah, it had that vibe.
Yeah,
he was great. He's just like this sack of, again, it's the kind of thing you can only do in stop motion. He's literally he's the Boogeyman, obviously, which is everyone's kind of favourite scary, nondescript, scary thing. But the form it takes is just a giant sack filled with bugs, basically.
Yeah. When he faced his demise in that, it reminded me a lot of from Rick and Morty, 1,000 Ants.
Yes, definitely.
Where just suddenly, now I'm just a lot of bugs. Oh,
yeah, because I mean, what is the... Yeah, it's not a very practical way of being.
No.
I mean, he is very easily defeated. Like, he's not really in it very much. That's the thing, because it is such a short film. It doesn't really build him up as... He's not so much like an evil villain as he is like a nuisance. He ends up with Santa Claus, and poor old Santa Claus like on the rack or something hilariously dark. And he's just torturing him. And then Sally tries to save Santa because she sees that it's all going horribly wrong, and she's like, I have to save Christmas. So she sneaks in to save Santa, also ends up being kidnapped. So the two of them are then like, tied up and chained up and about to be killed or whatever that might be. Who knows? And Oogie Boogie does a great song about how he's the Oogie Boogie Man. It's very funky. It's great.
The sound of rolling dice to me is music in the air. 'Cause I'm a gambling boogeyman, although I don't play fair. It's much more fun, I must confess, when lives on the line. Not mine, of course, but yours, oh boy. Now that'd be just fine.
Back on Earth, I guess we'll call it. Jack Skellington is still alive. He's kind of lamenting that he's got it all so horribly, horribly wrong, and he's ruined Christmas. But then he kind of turns it around very quickly, and he's like, you know what? I did my best. I tried, goddammit. And I'm going to fix this.
Yeah.
So he goes back to Halloween Town, rescues Santa and Sally from the Boogeyman. There's a whole big, beautifully choreographed kind of fight scene. Well, sort of fight scene when he's on like a spinning platform or something, and there's all these cards and knives, and he's having to dodge all of this stuff.
He's on the roulette wheel, isn't he?
It's a roulette wheel, of course. It is. So there's a whole choreographed fight scene between him and Oogie Boogie. eventually Oogie Boogie's downfall is that a bit of his thread does Jack pull the thread, or does it get caught on the roulette wheel?
He gets caught. Jack makes it get caught in something.
He ties it onto the roulette wheel or something. Yeah, because it's spinning and it pulls on him. Yeah,
yeah,
and it pulls the thread, and Oogie Boogie Man is destroyed because all of his bugs fall out into the fire.
Yes,
and the last one gets crushed by Santa Claus, who is thoroughly pissed off at this point, which I really enjoy.
Yeah,
Santa Claus has had it.
Mm-hmm.
Forgive me, Mr. Claus. I'm afraid I've made a terrible mess of your holiday.
Bumpy sleigh ride, Jack? The next time you get the urge to take over someone else's holiday, I'd listen to her. She's the only one who makes any sense around this insane asylum. Skeletons.
Yeah, and then Jack Skellington apologises to Santa Claus, and Santa Claus takes off and flies out to rescue Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack learns a valuable lesson that he's reinvigorated his passion for Halloween. He realises that Christmas isn't for him, but Santa forgives him, I presume, and delivers them the gift of snow, which none of them have ever seen before in Halloween Town. So it ends on a good, fun little song and dance in a snowy Halloween town. Jack and Sally fall in love. They have a big kiss on the on the mountain, on the hill, whatever that was, on the ledge.
Whatever those things were.
And that's the end. It's a very simple plot.
Yeah, no, it was very good.
Yeah,
it's a very good film. What do you say is what scene stood out to you most? Because you say that this has been one of your core childhood films. There's always one scene that sticks out the most.
It's more like isolated moments than scenes, like little lines and stuff that I remember. The one that really got me is, I mean, the characters are so good. Like, it's more like the characters, like the mayor with the two faces. Like, that I really remembered. So I was like, oh, that's so good. The trio of, like, jazz musicians who play on the streets. I loved them.
Yeah, they're good.
The line when he just, really early in the film, Jack kind of walks past them and they go, one of them goes, "Great work, Bone Daddy." And I don't know why, but that was something that really stayed with me. I was like, oh my God, that went right to my core. Like, that's something I must have walked around. You know, again, when you watch films when you're a kid or TV shows, whatever it might be, you get little things stick and you just keep repeating it. I guarantee when I was like 5, I was walking around going, "Good work, Bone Daddy." Like, it's just, obviously was just something that really struck me. Like, it's a really funny line.
You're a weird little child.
I was.
Nice work, Bone Daddy.
Alright, should we do some drinking games?
Let's do some drinking games. What have you got for me?
Okay, first one I've got is a bit of a heavy one. Drink anytime anybody says the words Christmas or Halloween.
Oh God.
This is Halloween. This is Halloween.
Shot. Oh wow, that's that's a heavy. That is definitely a dangerous one. But this might be why you're suffering these crippling hangovers if that's your approach.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, like that a lot. That could work. Okay, my first one is drink every time the mayor's face switches sides.
Oh yeah, I think I've had that one too.
Yeah,
that's
great.
That's pretty.
He's a
good one.
Great character. He's always in a state of constant despair. Like, Jack is dead. Great.
Drink whenever one of Sally's limbs falls off.
Ooh, very good. Yeah. Yeah, she's like stitched together and you can see all the stitches obviously because she's like a corpse bride. So again, it's not graphic, but it's definitely very.
But I got the feeling that, I mean, I know that she was a corpse bride, but she looked like she was just made of fabric.
Yeah, I think that's what she looked like. She was like stuffed or something. Yeah, because whenever she pulled something off, it would be like it was like bits of cotton fell out or something. So maybe she was. I don't know. Yeah,
maybe she was partly stuffed.
Partially, yeah. Just keep it together. I don't think we want to delve too deeply into the grim realities of what this would actually be like.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, drink every time children scream or cry.
Oh, good one, yeah.
Yeah. I love that, like, this is
I think I've also got that when a child doesn't appreciate their gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I love how, like, this is such a Tim Burton thing. I love how, like, he will happily spend a 5-minute scene of just having children be utterly tortured. Like,
yeah.
And it's so much fun to watch. Like, in this context.
Oh, yeah, totally, yeah.
I think I liked the one who pulls out the head the best, because then his parents scream, and then like you don't see him for like 10 minutes, and then there's the sequence of Santa Claus coming back around and saving the day, and he's still stood there with his head, and like you can see his parents' feet just in there, like they're still down. Like, are they dead? Do they need medical attention? Like,
yeah.
Who knows?
No, God. And drink whenever the dog barks.
Oh yes. I also really liked that the alarm sound for Halloween Town was just a cat screaming.
Oh yeah, that was so good.
Can you imagine how awful and upsetting that would be? Just like And it made me realise it kind of does sound like a fire alarm.
Yeah.
Those two sounds are not a million miles away from each other at all.
No, it worked really well.
Yeah. Okay, and also drink, my last one, drink every time you see a new monster design.
Oh, yeah.
That makes you go, ooh. It's, yeah. I remember only in it, I think, for like a second, but I really liked, there's a kind of guy there's like a zombie or a creature with a giant hat, and he pulls off his hat, and there's another, like, his own twin, but tiny, who's also in a hat. It's like a Russian doll of, like, creepy monsters in hats. It's great.
Yeah. Such great ideas. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Any more?
No, that's all I've got.
Cool, okay.
Let's see, Alex. What do you think of Jaws, which is at 97% Rotten Tomatoes?
I find it to be anti-shark propaganda. What do you feel about the Entourage movie, which is at a meager 33%?
I think they finally got Hollywood right. How about It Follows, 97%?
Worse than your parents giving you the sex is evil talk. How do you feel about Juno, which is at 94%?
That would be a movie that celebrates a teenage homewrecker. How about Bewitched at 25%?
Best television adaptation ever put to film. How do you feel about American Hustle at a towering 93%?
Overwrought awards bait. Righteous Kill, 19%.
The movie that Michael Mann wishes he had made when he created Heat.
Sounds about right. I'm Julio.
I'm Alex, and we are the Contrarians.
As you can tell, our thing is that we rage against the Rotten Tomatoes machine.
Regardless of what we really feel.
Find us on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn,
Facebook, Twitter, we're everywhere.
Okay, well, despite you doing the plot summary, it is actually still my film, so you need to do your sequel first.
Fine, okay.
If you don't mind.
No, okay, I can handle that, that's fine. So one of the great joys of doing animated films for this podcast, we do them occasionally, is that you don't need to worry about, so-and-so's got old, or because basically it's an animation. So
yeah, most people's voices don't change that much.
No, and even if they can, it's easier to recast them. But obviously this one, no way you'd recast these people.
No.
They're all alive, they're all fine.
Yeah.
Nobody's getting rid of Catherine O'Hara on my watch. So that being said, she's not really in this one particularly, in my sequel idea.
So you're getting rid of her?
I am, but not intentionally.
Dare
well, she can still be in it. She'll still
on
be
your
in it.
watch, no one's going to get rid of her apart from me.
Well, yeah, exactly. But maybe I'm sure she'll be in it, but she's not got a main plot. Yeah, maybe. Well, okay, tell you what, listen to my sequel, and if you can think of a point where we can add her in, give her a bit of a character arc, let's figure something out.
Okay,
sure. Part of the show is that we brainstorm, don't we? So
she plays everybody.
She plays. She could. Well, she's got the range, definitely. Moira Rose definitely has the range. But anyway, basically, this takes place pretty much immediately after, let's say, the following year. So I mean, it's Christmas, so the following year is like the next week. What I'm thinking is that obviously Christmas Town and Halloween Town have made peace. They've both realised that Jack's plan was ill-advised, and
yeah. But
in the aftermath of that, all of the different towns that we see the little trees for at the beginning, all the different holiday worlds, basically, they kind of get together. Maybe they have like a little council of holiday world leaders or something. Like they have their first ever holiday world summit. It's like the UN, and they decide to try a new program because they're all kind of in the same thing where they do the same thing every year to kind of avoid situations like Jack's where there's kind of a burnout. They decide to actually do a consensual kind of structured job swap experiment for the year.
Between the Christmas and Halloween people?
Between all the holidays.
Oh, okay.
So the idea is because at the beginning you see that...
So even Valentine's Day, Thanksgiving, St. Patrick's Day...
Yeah, so I noticed 6.
Yeah, I think there were 6.
Yeah, the ones I noticed were...
There's always 6.
Yeah, it's a nice round number. But yeah, so they had Christmas Town, Halloween Town, Thanksgiving Town, Easter Town, St. Patrick's Day Town, and Valentine's Day Town. Anything else?
I think that's all.
Okay, yeah. So that's 6. That makes it nice, easy, two-way swapsies.
Yeah.
So the idea is that they're going to, rather than like kidnap each other and, cause havoc, they're going to like agree to do this, and they're going to like try out and see if they can, do each other's holidays, just so they can, stretch their creative wings a little bit. So obviously, because it's already happened once, Christmas Town and Halloween Town swap over again.
Okay.
But I think this time, we'll leave Jack for the time being. He's kind of learned his lesson for the first time, so let's say he does an okay job. But I think it'd be fun to look at how would Father Christmas do, how the Christmas Town people do at running a Halloween. And I'm thinking they'd struggle.
Yeah.
Because everything that they do is so light and happy and, fun. And like, what's the scariest thing Santa can think of? Like a low-fat mince pie?
Yeah, maybe. Or just no mince pies.
Oh, no mince pies. Yeah, exactly. So I just think there'd be some fun to be had to have Father Christmas and his merry elves try to figure out like how to actually scare children rather than make them happy. So, and again,
Well, I think there's going to be a lot of like Jack in the Boxes.
yeah,
You know, where you wind the thing, do 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 do, and that's what they think is scary.
yeah.
It's just like, oh, a clown popped out of a box, and that's one of the best things they can come up with.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think like because the Halloween people have to keep one-upping themselves every year because kids are getting more used to it and they're getting more jaded by it. And so Father Christmas is like, yeah, his ideas of what might be scary are super naff, and it just all of it falls flat, and the kids aren't scared at all. And he just gets increasingly frustrated.
Yeah.
And maybe it drives him nuts.
Yeah.
Maybe what finally does scare the children, he gets so frustrated with the fact that the children aren't scared of anything that he like has a proper tantrum and he goes on a rampage and you become this crazy old man just rampaging through town, just like screaming at children and like, why aren't you? And then that actually is what scares them. So so he figures it out accidentally. But anyway,
maybe he shaves his beard.
Maybe yes, that'd scare them. Yeah.
Maybe he does it like in front of them though.
Yes. Yeah, he just literally and there's like because he's not shaved it in like however many centuries. Maybe it's like it's all matted and there's as he's shaving it, he's cutting himself and it's all blood and that's genuinely terrifying. Yeah. Santa Claus shaving with like a rusty razor would that's pretty terrifying.
Yeah. Wow.
Again, the only thing you could do with stop motion, because if you did that in any kind of other film, it'd be truly nightmarish. But yeah, so that's those two. That's Christmas Town and Halloween Town. And then I was thinking, most fun I could think of was to look at the other four, though. So I'm thinking the lovable cherubs of Valentine's Day. The little,
St. Patrick's Day?
Yeah, swap with St. Patrick's Day. It's an obvious swap. So.
Yeah.
So you've got these little angels, floating on with little white wings and, love hearts and the little bows and arrows. Let's say they populate Valentine's Day town and they just go around and like shoot the bows and arrows and make people fall in love, and that's their job once a year.
Yeah.
So they swap places with the pissed up elves, or the pissed up leprechauns.
Elves.
Sorry. They swap places with the pissed up leprechauns of St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, okay.
Who are just drunk leprechauns.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
So
now, first of all, I think that the drunk leprechauns would do a fantastic job on Valentine's Day. They would just get everybody really, really drunk.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's the cornerstone of most relationships.
Exactly. And then everybody just has one night stands.
Yeah.
And, whether they regret it in the morning or not, well, that's their problem.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
It's no longer Valentine's Day. You had a good Valentine's Day. You all went on dates. You all got wrecked. You don't remember anything past midnight, but, it's fine. You all got laid.
Fair enough, yeah. Well, my thought was that...
I reckon that more people would get laid than normal.
This is true. This is probably true, yeah. Probably.
If you got a whole thing as well, I'm sorry.
No.
I just barreled over you there.
No, you're absolutely right. Well, my thing was that, like, because they're all pissed all the time, rather than, like, sweet romantic gestures, like the Valentine's Day cherubs, they're all about, proposals and people saying they're in love and, beautiful little cards and nice things. Whereas, all the elves, the leprechauns are just making everyone pissed.
Yeah.
So all the romantic gestures are, like, unwanted, like when you get hit on by the bar by that sleazy drunken guy that you don't really want to...
So do you think that, like, everybody's had a one-night stand and then nothing else afterwards? Like, it's just one-night stands?
Well, I think people are hitting on the wrong people.
Okay.
People are drunk and hitting...
But what I'm saying is everybody's drunk.
True, yeah, that's true.
If everybody's drunk, how does that go down?
Maybe the cherubs give the leprechauns their bows and arrows of love, but because the leprechauns are pissed, their aim isn't particularly good. Like their aim is
that's even better.
So they're hitting all the wrong people, and the matches are just terrible. And it's all like it's regrettable, and it's people hitting on people who don't want to be hit on. So then that's bad, and then other people are hitting on people who is just they should never ever try and get with, like their teachers, their bosses. All the worst stuff. Their exes.
Yeah.
Just dreadful ideas all across the board. And it just ends up with everybody either falling asleep or crying into a glass of Guinness. So it's just drunken chaos in Valentine's Day land.
Great.
Meanwhile, the cherubs on St. Patrick's Day, they're having a great time at first. This is fun. This is great fun. So they're floating around on their wings, drinking Guinness and spreading Guinness to all the people. But of course, they're cherubs and they're complete lightweights.
Also, they're tiny.
They're literally lightweights.
Yeah.
So it starts well, but ends with them all like crying and throwing up everywhere and getting into fights and just hating each other. And
they're throwing up rainbows.
Of course, yeah. We're going to do some good Tim Burton visuals. So we're going to have little naked cherubs just throwing up rainbows and just hating each other and crying and vomiting and just a great big mess basically. So it just becomes chaotic and disastrous. Which, to be fair, is a success because that's how St. Patrick's Day usually goes down.
Yeah.
So the people don't notice any difference, but the cherubs have a terrible time of it.
I was listening to a Do Go On episode the other day, or today actually, the one that he did in Dublin on the recent tour, At one point in Dublin's history, there was a whiskey brewery that I think had a fire or something.
Okay.
And a lot of the barrels broke, and like thousands of barrels broke, and there was just literally floods of whiskey just throughout Dublin. There
What
was
a
also
cliche.
yeah, I know. There was also on fire.
Right, yeah, sure. This does sound more dangerous than
it's like
fun,
the
yeah.
alcohol was burning.
Yeah.
Yet people did still try and get as much as they can, and a lot of people were just drinking it straight away.
So unhygienic.
Yeah, I know, that's what I thought, and they never brought that up.
No.
But I don't know, free booze.
Sure. I mean, I don't like whiskey.
Yeah, sure. I don't like it that much. I don't like it that much.
Not enough
but
to drink it out of the ground.
Yeah.
I think if you do like it enough to drink it out of the ground, you'll probably have a drinking problem.
Probably, yeah. 11 people died, I think it was, maybe 12.
From alcohol
on that
poisoning?
night. Yeah, none of them from fire. All from alcohol poisoning.
Oh, God almighty. I mean, talk about living down to the stereotype Irish people. Come on.
Yeah. Oh, it was great.
Yeah. So maybe that's what happens here. Maybe it ends on a horribly dark note and all the cherubs set fires at them.
Well, maybe like a bunch of them will die of alcohol poisoning.
Yeah.
And so then like, oh shit, next year there's not enough people to make everybody fall in love.
And they wake up in Halloween Town because now they're dead.
Oh. So Halloween's going to become super romantic?
I just think Halloween's got some new recruits. Just some scary zombie cherubs.
Sure.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
And then finally, the other pairing that we've not talked about yet is the Easter Bunny is going to trade place with the suicidal turkeys of Thanksgiving.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So I'm thinking it's...
I mean, are the turkeys suicidal? I think that you're giving a much brighter idea to what Thanksgiving is.
Yeah,
from the turkey side.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. In this kind of Tim Burton inspired version, I'm thinking the turkeys are kind of like the Meeseeks from Rick and Morty.
They want.
It's their meaning.
Okay,
That's the. I'm not saying in real life turkeys want to be eaten. I know that's probably not the case.
Just checking.
Yeah, of course. But in this, fantasy for children, obviously slightly twisted fantasy for children at this point. But yeah, the turkeys are like Meeseeks, and it's the whole raison d'etre is to be eaten. So they go into Easter Town and they don't understand that they're not the ones who have to be eaten at this point. So they fill all the eggs with like their own meat. They like kill them. Well, okay, so they start like putting meat in all the eggs and stuff, and the kids don't like that because that's gross.
Yeah.
So they don't really understand that aspect of Easter. But once they learn about the kind of the more Christian traditional side of Easter, that they can understand. That rings true for like what their worldview is.
Yeah.
So we cut to the next morning to a horrifying sequence of all the children waking up for Easter to find the Easter eggs and stuff. Just find all of their gardens are just full of like crucified turkeys. Just happily crucified turkeys. Yeah.
This is a dark episode for you, John.
It is. Yeah. I mean, it's Tim Burton.
You're using that excuse a bit much.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, crucified turkeys.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun and animated. It's just
Yeah, sure.
yeah. And the bunny in Turkey Land is not up for being eaten, so he's just very disturbed by the way all of this is playing out.
Yeah.
Maybe he introduces Thanksgiving Land to vegetarianism. There we go. We'll balance the books a bit because he eats carrots.
Sure, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. He tries to like unionize the turkeys and like get them to have the turkeys that are left in Thanksgiving Land. He tries to get them to like value themselves more highly.
Yeah.
And to like convert people to just be vegetarians on Thanksgiving instead. He leads a revolution of the turkeys that causes a turkey shortage. And maybe the turkeys take it too far and turn on the humans when they start to realize, hey, we don't deserve to be eaten. These bastards. Right. And then we can have like turkeys attacking people, chasing them down the streets, pecking at them, pecking at their eyes, people screaming.
Yeah. That sounds pretty terrifying. I like it.
Yeah. So I'm thinking of all of this in terms of it being like the same like stop motion style with that very Tim Burton like macabre sense of humor to it. That's why this is going to like some dark places.
Yeah.
So needless to say, the whole experiment is just a complete disaster. All the lands are in absolute chaos, and so Jack and Santa are forced to work together once again to sort everything out with a song. So there'll be like a big musical song and dance number. Maybe Sally can figure out a solution. I don't know what that solution is, but maybe she is involved in the cleanup in some way.
I don't know.
No. Ultimately, Santa and Jack and Sally work together to sort everything else. Everyone goes back to their own kingdoms, and everyone learns a valuable lesson about just sometimes it's best to just stay in your own lane. That's the lesson they learn. So,
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So that was The Nightmare Before Christmas 2, The St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
Nice. St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Yeah, very good.
Thank you.
All right, should we do mine?
No.
You're going to hate this.
Okay, well, that's always a good sign.
Do you remember when we did Air Force One?
Yes, I remember because I picked it.
Yeah.
I can't remember what your sequel idea was, I'm afraid. You're going to have to remind me. Or mine. I can't remember anything from that episode.
Well, I believe that for that one, mine was titled Air Force Pun.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, it was. Oh, that was good. Yes, that was fun. Are you going to go back to that well?
Sort of.
Okay.
So listeners, to remind you, that one I just looked up words that rhyme with one.
Oh, that was it, yeah.
And then did, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Can't remember any right now, but...
I remember there were some good ones.
Other than Air Force Pun, but, there were a lot. So basically what I've done is I have gone to nationaldays.co.uk and found all the national days of the year.
Okay.
So, some of this is British, some of this is a bit more worldwide.
Okay.
And I'd just be interested to see what would those worlds look like. Now, we talked a little bit about, say, like Valentine's Day world.
Yes.
And, obviously there's not going to be a Thanksgiving Day world in this, but, stuff like that.
Oh, this is all British holidays?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, Arbor Day.
Some of these, John, we can skip over, and I guess you can just edit out if there's nothing to be said.
Sure. So between us, we need to come up with very quick fire sequel ideas for what a film based on these days might look like.
Or just what that world would look like.
Sure. So like the nightmare before
Pancake Day.
Perfect. Great. Okay.
Yeah. Like that one, you'd go in, everything would be made of flour and eggs, and everything would be quite flat. That sort of thing.
Okay, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. See how we do.
Let's see how it goes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know things about all these things. So first one here, Burns Night.
Burns Night. Okay.
Where the Scottish people have haggis and stuff.
Sure. So is that just in charge of aggressive Scots in Tartan?
I guess it would have to be, yeah. The world is in charge of drunk Scots in Tartan.
Doesn't sound a million miles away from St. Patrick's Day, to be honest.
No, it doesn't, but just the Scottish version.
Maybe it's run by...
You know what, John? I don't think it is a million miles away from St. Patrick's Day.
To be fair, yeah.
It's
I think most days are excuse to get pissed for this reason day, or excuse to eat all of this food day. So
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, maybe the Jack Skellington of Burns Night is the Loch Ness Monster.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, sure.
And it's his job to distribute all of the haggis and whiskey to all the Scots.
Yeah.
Yeah?
That makes sense.
Yeah. Maybe the plot somehow revolves around Scotland's endless battle for independence from the United Kingdom. Maybe that's just gonna... Maybe, I don't know whether they're going to be pro that or anti that, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they'll go to... Who's the patron saint of England, by the way? Is that
St. George?
Yeah, maybe like St. George is their nemesis.
Maybe they need to rescue Nicola Sturgeon from St. George.
Oh, yeah. That sort of thing.
Yeah, like a claymation Nicola Sturgeon who's tied up to a pole or something and being kidnapped by the British knights or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
I mean, it's basically propaganda at this point, but sure.
Oh, by the way, these are going in vague date order.
Oh,
like when these happen in a year.
Okay.
Next up is World Braille Day. So it's a world made of the language for the blind, Braille.
Okay. Is the entire film shot in Braille?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be something, wouldn't it? How would you do that?
Well,
it wouldn't be a film, would it?
It would just be like a book or a touch screen.
Yes,
it would be a touch screen situation, yeah.
It would just have to be a book. So I guess that Jack Skellington goes from Halloween world into a book.
Mm-hmm. Maybe the Jack Skellington of this world is a guide dog who delivers Braille books to children. Or teaches children Braille.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, this could be a sweet one. An actual child-friendly one. Teaching kids about, being blind is perfectly normal and you can live a rich and full life.
Very nice.
Yes.
Next up is World Religion Day.
Ugh. Well, that's just going to be full of bloodshed. That's
just war.
Just a war-torn hellscape, yeah.
That would not be a nice place.
Yeah. Exactly. It is just, think of the worst dystopian...
If it was World Any Single Religion by Itself Day, it'd probably be alright. Quite nice.
Sure, well, it depends on the religion, but sure. But yeah, altogether, it is just the worst, most dystopian hellscape you ever imagined in your entire life.
Yeah. Next up, World Cancer Day.
Oh, God, Harry, some of these are depressing.
You can say veto if you want.
Let's veto that one. That's pretty grim.
Okay. You'll love this one then. World Orphan Week.
World Orphan Week. Okay, no, we can work with this.
Mm-hmm. I'm imagining everybody like either Annie or Oliver.
I was just going to say every character is it's just a collection of all the Disney characters. Whose parents are inexplicably dead.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, maybe it's like a pageant, like most pitiful orphan of the year award. They all have to compete to be the most pitiful orphans. They've all got to perfect their sad little cough and, model their tattered rags.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to come back to this later in the year.
Okay.
Next up is National Marriage Week.
National Marriage Week.
All you can eat is cake.
All you can eat is cake, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I guess it's just full of men wearing top hat and tails and women wearing white wedding dresses.
Mm-hmm, yeah, sure.
Is everybody paired up?
Yeah, it sounds like a hell for single people.
Yeah.
Maybe it's about the one single person who ends up trapped in marriage world.
Jack Skellington?
Jack Skellington, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's not single, he's got Sally.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But a single person somehow wanders into marriage world, whatever, or a single creature from another...
Zero, the dog.
Maybe, I mean, the dog doesn't speak. But what I'm getting at is that he's like an alien, because, or she, could be a she, because everyone's in a couple. And it's like they don't understand, what do you mean? What do you mean you can't be on your own? That's not how marriage world works. And maybe they get quite hostile and he gets locked up because it's illegal to not be with somebody else. And the whole film is like a statement on the tyranny of couplehood. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. That one went well. Safer Internet Day. I'm sorry, these are so random.
Again, it's a horror movie. It's a very, very dark horror movie.
Yeah.
Could be like a Wreck-It Ralph. Remember when Wreck-It Ralph 2 went into the dark web?
Oh, yeah.
So it could be a tie into that, maybe. Yeah, we could go inside the internet.
Yeah.
It could just literally rip off Wreck-It Ralph, but instead of arcade games, it's the internet.
Yeah, so it's going into the dark web and, porn and stuff.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, I know. All the characters are cookies.
Yeah.
And they live in constant fear of being deleted. But they always do because they're incriminating.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like it. I like it, yeah.
Fine.
Okay, so we're in March now.
We're only in March!
St. David's Day.
St. David's Day, that's the Welsh one, right?
Yep.
Well, you tell me.
Daffodils and leeks.
Daffodils and leeks, great.
People wearing bucket hats on their heads.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Yep.
I know. This one is all about the slow death of the Welsh language.
Oh,
I'm just saying. No. I'm saying
brutal. True, but
I'm just saying. Like maybe the whole thing, the mission of the characters. Maybe the characters are like a Welsh dragon, or an animated Welsh dragon, or something, and they need to teach people the value of the Welsh language and try and save it. Because if when the last person who speaks fluent Welsh dies, then they cease to exist. So they need to fight to bring the Welsh language back.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can have Ruth Jones definitely doing voice work as the dragon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Definitely. Well, half the cast of Kevin Stacey did all that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day. That is a film. It's a terrible ensemble film.
I'm not pitching films called Mother's Day. I'm pitching Nightmare Before Christmas.
The Nightmare Before Mother's Day. Okay, The Nightmare Before Mother's Day is a horror film about people who are constantly in a state of having forgotten that it's Mother's Day tomorrow. And they're searching for a last-minute present.
Everybody's rushing to the garage to get flowers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good. National Bed Month.
Is this your idea of heaven? Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. Just everybody's in bed all the time.
Everyone's in bed all the time, yeah.
There it is. They just get around on beds on wheels and,
Are the characters the beds?
Yes.
Maybe like every bed... This is sounding so like low-rent Pixar. Like every bed needs to find its perfect person.
Oh, that's cute.
And it's a bit like Goldilocks. Like, it has to be the right level of softness for each person. Each different
some
person.
Some people are too big, some people are too small.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. That's what I mean, yeah. They need to find the right person for their specific bed style.
Some people are too smelly, some people are too sweaty.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Self-Injury Awareness Day.
Self-Injury...
Awareness Day.
That could get very graphic.
I think it's basically just... It's a world where everybody just says, oh, don't hurt yourself.
Yeah, it's like everyone's too safe.
Yeah.
It's like everyone's walking around and everything's like really signposted and there's like no sharp edges. And, yeah, and it's the moral of the story.
Caution, this sign has sharp edges.
Yeah. Someone wanders into this world and the moral of the story at the end is that they have to teach everyone that sometimes you're going to hurt yourself. That's just how you learn and grow.
Yeah. Wrong Trousers Day.
That's a thing?
That's a thing.
Is it about the Aardman thing, or is it just about people awareness for wearing the wrong trousers?
I think it's I don't think it's awareness. Like, everybody be aware some people wear the wrong trousers, feel sorry for them.
Make sure you're wearing the right trousers before you leave the house on this specific day.
I think basically that, or school kids go into school intentionally wearing the wrong trousers. Or like wearing jeans backwards or stuff like that.
How is that an official day?
I don't know, John.
Who formalised that?
Most of this stuff is complete bullshit.
Does this go through the House of Commons? I don't understand.
But, yeah,
are there votes on this?
I hope they've got better things to do with their days. International Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Oh, just an origin story of why the hell this day is a thing.
Yep, good. World Smile Day.
Aww. Oh, I know. That's all about bad British teeth. It's a dental nightmare.
Oh, my favourite, National Sleep In Day.
National Sleep In Day. Great.
Yeah, everyone gets up at like midday.
Mm-hmm. The main character's an alarm clock.
Yeah, nice. And the last one I've got here, which is, actually, this one is my favourite rather than Sleep In Day, although it does go hand in hand. National Freelancers Day.
National Freelancers Day.
Everybody just does fuck all. They sleep in all the time. They eat like shit. They earn just the bare minimum amount of money that they just get by.
Yeah. Sounds like a dream.
Sometimes they pay taxes.
Yeah. Okay. It's one freelancer's journey to, don't know.
Get a new client.
Getting a new client, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Very inspiring tale, yeah.
Yes, so that was The Nightmare Before Whatever.
Great, is that what your title's going to be, The Nightmare
Sure,
Before?
yeah.
Cool. Well, that'll be a tight 10 minutes when I've edited it all down.
Well, you can leave the full thing in there for the Patreons if you want.
Sure. We're trying to encourage them, not torture them.
Yeah. Great. Okay, so should we get to listener submissions?
Sure.
Okay, first one I got here from Tom Price. He says, The Good Dream on September 10th, 2001.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
I quite like that one, though.
I mean, yeah, it's certainly dark. Don't think Disney would okay it.
Probably not, no. Chris Forbes says, if they had to do a sequel, then I'd like to see Halloween Town having to defend itself from an invasion from another holiday.
There we go, yeah, that's kind of what
maybe a long-forgotten or less celebrated holiday is trying to come back by taking over Halloween after being inspired by Jack taking over Christmas.
Okay, so yeah, maybe the Easter Bunny gets revenge.
Something a bit more forgotten, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, like National Adoption Day or
whatever.
Sure,
any of the ones that you just mentioned. Yeah, cool.
Grayson Myers says, we take the original and make it good.
Whoa! Shots fired, Grayson.
Whoa!
Wow.
Brackets beyond the musical scenes.
Okay. I mean, it's all musical scenes.
Brendan Senf says, I've always wanted to see the other worlds in the trees, whether it was just via Jack or just another group of characters for that holiday, etc. Maybe reverse it and have them crash Jack's Halloween or have some evil that unites all of them. Okay, so all six of them kind of working together against something else.
Okay. Oh, yeah, something threatens all the holiday towns, yeah. And they have to all band together to defend themselves. I like that. I don't know what would be a threat to all holidays.
The Tories.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Austerity land happens. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And to close off, I've got a kind of long one here that I've only read a few paragraphs of. So Brendan JB says, while out scaring on Halloween, Jack comes across a cute kid dressed in a bad costume who desperately wants to be scary.
Okay.
Jack follows him around, intrigued by the kid's perseverance to be scary despite being adorable. Watching it attempt after failed attempt at trying to scare people. Seeing a bit of himself in the kid, he decides to reveal himself and invite the kid to Halloween Town to train to be scary.
Okay.
We get scenes and songs of all the different townspeople trying to train him to be scary in different ways, but it doesn't go so well. He can't seem to scare anyone. He becomes disillusioned and wanders off. Eventually coming across one of the leftover bugs of Boogie, who begins manipulating him in an attempt to restore his body. Attempting to convince him the town is laughing at him behind his back. You, the viewer, finds out that the kid is trying to become scary so he can scare away some bullies that be making fun of him. So the whole of Halloween Town bands together and traumatises the fuck out of the bullies.
Great.
And we learn a valuable lesson that we all have our own strengths and weaknesses, and helping each other out is what good friends do.
That's nice.
The end.
That's really nice. I really like that. That is genuinely one that could work.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's lovely. Well done. That's my favourite so far. Yeah.
I mean, don't go beating up your bullies. That's not the answer.
I'm not suggesting that is the answer, no, but I like that as a concept for a film.
But we all have our own strengths. You know, not everyone's good at everything.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so those are my lesson submissions.
Okay, well, yeah, that was really good. Okay, I have some as well. We had a lot of plays on the title, just like yours. Mm-hmm. So, Sarah Pater said, The Sleep Paralysis Before Valentine's Day.
Right.
Yukyont said, The Cash Grab Before Summer.
Nice, yeah.
Scott Hillman said, It's a couple of years later, and Jack, while still enjoying Halloween, is feeling a bit of a rut coming on again. He talks to other holiday people, and while he doesn't want to take anyone else's job this time, he decides to simply create a new holiday instead.
Oh, yeah.
Realising that all holidays are in some way based on emotion, he decides to hit on one that doesn't already have its own holiday yet, and so he creates a holiday all around being angry at people. So his holiday is based on anger.
Yeah, I like it.
The airing of grievances will be epic. I'm thinking this is essentially going to turn into The Purge.
Yeah.
Walt Williams said The Horror Before Hanukkah.
Mm-hmm.
Over on Twitter, @SqueakyHar said, New Year's Nightmare. Jack happens upon New Year's Eve. He's unfamiliar with the dress of the occasion and the debauchery. He happens upon Spooky's Tavern. Mm-hmm. He immediately recognises what is happening and quickly searches for Easter to bring it to Spooky's cause because some of those folks need saving. So I guess the idea of that is he comes to New Year, everyone's behaving like a prick, so you get the Easter Bunny to try and save their souls, maybe?
I guess, yeah.
At Contrarian Prime, the Contrarians, our friend Julio, the PTSD after Christmas, a spin-off that follows Santa as he reckons with the torture and trauma he suffered at the hands of Oogie Boogie. He knows he must ask for help before next Christmas arrives, but can he do it? At Depressed Movie said, The Nightmare Before Christmas. It's a prequel which explores how Jack became the Pumpkin King of Halloween Town. Maybe Oogie was running the game before that and got banished to his creepy basement. So maybe Jack took over Oogie Boogie, and that's why they are bitter rivals.
That makes sense.
Yeah. At False Starts Pod said, The Nightmare After Christmas. Jack and Sally have to spend Boxing Day with their racist uncle, weird aunts, and are made to sit around the kids' table with their hyper cousins, even though they're 30. Yep, that's a nightmare we can all relate to. And finally, Martin Gardner at MG Loves Fun said, The 2019 general election is the sequel. That's very true. Very well observed, Martin.
Oh dear.
So thank you everybody for those sequel ideas. We ask for your listener submissions every week a few days before we record by putting posts out on Facebook and Twitter where you can post your ideas. So make sure you like and follow our pages if you don't want to miss out. To listen to more episodes of Beyond the Box Set, you can subscribe and browse our back catalogue on any podcasting platform, including iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and many others, all of which you can also leave us a 5-star review if you feel so inclined. It really helps us out. As mentioned before, we're also available on Patreon, which is exclusively for the people who would raise us 5 stars or more if they could. You can find all those links in the description below or at beyondtheboxset.com. And next week, Harry, I believe we have some returning guests.
Yeah, we've got 2 returning guests. We have my friend Joe Timothy, who came on for It's a Wonderful Life.
No, he didn't. That was Ross. I don't think Joe's been on since Inception, like episode 5.
Oh, was that?
He was our first guest.
No, Joe was Interstellar, wasn't it?
Interstellar, sorry.
That was it, yeah.
But it was like very early on and he's not been back since.
Wow, what a bastard.
I know.
Well, he's coming back next week, and he is going to be joined by another one of my friends, Ollie, who did come on for Burlesque and something else.
Oh,
Black Swan.
Black Swan and Burlesque, yes.
The Black Swan and Burlesque. Yeah, so pitching those 2 together. They're going to come up with an idea. Me and John are going to come up with an idea. And the film you've chosen is...
The film they have chosen.
The film that the 3 of us chose together. Well, John was not there.
Okay, so everyone but me got a say in this about okay.
Is Netflix's own Christmas movie from last year, The Princess Switch.
Okay, I have no idea what this film is.
I've seen the trailer. It looks incredibly bad.
I mean, I'm sold.
Yeah.
I will discuss next week my love of crappy Netflix Christmas movies, but this one passed me by, so...
Yeah, no, this is going to be great.
Okay,
this is going to be a really good time. Yeah, so do please join us next week for The Princess Switch.
Can't wait. Yeah. And obviously, I would assume it's available on Netflix if you've not seen it.
I would assume so, yes.
Cool. Great. Cool. See you next week then.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Nice work, Bone Daddy.